Hey, what's up, people? So I wanted to talk to you guys about a little incident that happened here recently. Last week, this incident and this whole story has been making its rounds. But last week, there was a home invasion, a specific person, the homeowner, the whole thing makes it kind of interesting, and it makes it a huge wake-up call for the rest of us, and hopefully a huge wake-up call for people that are not using some sort of firearm for home defense and have no real aspirations to or training. And it just, hopefully it'll be a nice wake-up call to people to understand, hey, a tool for home defense is just as important as having a plan, communication, and a fortified house. It really is. The tool is huge. Having a light on that tool, having certain characteristics of the tool, I mean, it's a big deal. So basically, what happened, right? I'll link to the interview from Ariel Helwani, who's an MMA journalist. But basically what happened was one of the very cream of the crop, elite 205-pound UFC fighters, and I'm talking about elite 205-pound UFC fighter Anthony Smith's home was broken into by an intruder, and a fight ensued, and Anthony Smith himself said it was the hardest fight of his life to fight a 175-pound normal guy. And this dude is a huge human, all right? This is a 6'4", 230-pound human being. He fights at 205. He probably walks around at 230. And he was slightly in the middle of a camp right there. He might be walking around at 220 at the time. Extremely in shape, extremely strong, fit, just a legitimately could beat the shit out of 99.99999% of the human population. Okay, this guy is as good a fighter and as strong a human being and as skillful as anybody out there. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, he had a fight with an intruder that was an everyday guy that was the hardest fight of his life, and he had to fight with the dude for 6 minutes, 5-6 minutes until the police arrived. Okay, pretty insane. Now, the dude that broke into his house, I think we can all probably speculate that he had some help. He had a little bit of chemical help on board when he was fighting with Anthony, and he didn't really do any damage to Anthony. Anthony basically beat the shit out of him, but the guy kept fighting. The guy kept going. The guy kept looking for his chance to do some harm, right? He kept fighting. Anthony had to continually fight the dude. Now, hindsight 2020, I'm sure Anthony probably would have went further towards trying to get the choke on the guy or something like that. But it just wasn't happening. Whatever the circumstances is, shit's crazy in those moments. You can't always think, and it's just, you do what you do. And he's thinking of knocking the guy out, and he's probably thinking, knock him out, knock him out, knock him out, knock him out, and didn't ever really think of choking him out. So it's just one of those things. It's very hard to think super straight when you're in that kind of fight, right? And then just like Anthony's super inoculated to fighting, he's not super inoculated to fighting for his life with his family and their lives on the line and the whole chaotic situation, and it being at 4 a.m. when he just woke up out of bed, turned the corner out of his bedroom, and there's a dude standing there. I mean, the whole thing is just nuts, right? But it's a huge lesson for the rest of us, a huge wake-up call for the rest of us to understand that when someone is in a certain state, they are a handful. So what I tell people in classes is, basically, if you've ever known this, a horse will run until its heart explodes and it just drops dead. If you know, they used to have those prods on the back of their boots, and they would stab the horses, or they'd reach down and stab a horse, or whip the horse, and the horse will run till its heart just blows up. And that's basically what a person that's on PCP or bath salts or something like that, they'll go and go and go until their body literally shuts down, or you shut them down somehow by knocking them out, choking them out, or putting one in them if you got to. So the whole thing is crazy, right? And if one of the very biggest, most elite fighters in the world couldn't handle this guy and couldn't stop this guy, I should say. He did end up handling him. He didn't even really get hurt. He just kind of beat the shit out of him for 5 minutes until the cops got there. But that's Anthony Smith. Okay? What if he wasn't home? Okay? What if it's just regular old Joe? Hearing that story, do I think that I could have handled that guy and fought that guy for 5 straight minutes? Pooh! Something to think about. Something to think about. Now, I tell everybody to really get into mixed martial arts, to learn how to wrestle, to learn how to fight, to learn how to strike a little bit, to learn how to roll a little bit, learn a little bit of jiu-jitsu, and especially learn how to wrestle, vertical wrestling, staying on your feet in an altercation, vertical wrestling enough to move, enough striking that you might be able to wrestle a little bit vertically and smack somebody and then move, and then make distance to where you can draw, or make distance to where you can break contact and get the hell out of there. But at the end of the day, the tools are the great equalizer, and hopefully this will spark some real thought from people to understand, hey, if this top level, elite level, gigantic human, just everything is stacked in his favor, if he can't handle this situation very easily, then what am I going to do as a female? What am I going to do as a regular old guy? Okay, or a woman that's 65 years old, or a guy that's 70 years old. Like all these things, it's just, hopefully it's a huge wake up call. Now, I'll let you guys, I'll link the conversation with Ariel Hawani in the comments. Let you guys listen to that. Lots of things to take away from this. The only bad thing that they really did was maybe not having tools, not having guns, and some training on how to use them, right? We can ding them on that maybe a little bit, because that's, like he said in the interview, what if I wasn't home? Well, the wife ain't going 5 minutes with this dude, okay? That's not gonna happen. And whatever crazy state this person's in, God knows what they're gonna do. So, the wife ain't fighting this guy for 5 minutes. But, I can teach the wife how to walk around the corner and say, hey dog, what are you doing? You want to go ahead and get on your knees before I put 12 rounds in your face, okay? I can teach the wife how to do that right now, right? Or I can send her to someone who can teach her that. We can go take a class. But they did, okay, that's one thing. And then at one point they brought out a kitchen knife to try to subdue the guy, and Anthony was kind of holding a kitchen knife on the guy, but then he realized that the guy's still squirming around and moving and stuff, and the knife might not be the best idea, because unless he wants to just jam the knife in the dude and take him out, the knife's not doing him much good. Introducing a knife into that situation, into a home defense situation, that's just giving that guy a possibility to turn the tables, right? That's the only two things I can even ding him on at all. Other than that, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, crazy shit's happening. You can't really be Monday morning quarterbacking this shit. And then obviously going forward, let's get some training, let's get some firearms, let's understand we got kids, but there is ways to get around all this stuff. Millions of people do it. So other than that, they did a really good job of both of them getting to their kids. The wife went directly to the kids, had the oldest kid take care of the youngest kids and do things and put them in a spot that was safe. The wife comes back out, actually helps Anthony with the guy at the end of the fight, and was holding his legs down until the cops got there, where Anthony's kind of just, I guess, got him subdued, got him stuck where he can't really, can't do much at that point. So they did a bunch of really awesome stuff. Even the mother-in-law was running ran outside calling the cops to flag the cops down. The whole thing is wild, and it's really worth a listen to, and just for the to heed the gravity of what happened. So, what we want to do is have better planning, better fortification of our homes, better communication. Okay, what I want to do is be able to say, all right, something's going on. I've just got up out of bed, or whatever the case is. I'm going to grab Susie, tell the old lady to grab hers, and do, you know the plan. Basically, that's what I want it to look like at 4 o'clock in the morning when, pow, door busts in, or you get woken up, or I wake up and the dog starts barking. Dogs, really good to have. Dogs are worth their weight in gold when somebody is sneaking around in your house, because they will figure it out a whole lot sooner than you. Now, know your local laws, state laws, and what you got to do as far as, can you go check it out? Should you go check it out? For the most part, you don't want to clear your house. A one-man clearing operation is not a good thing at all. So we don't actually want to go clear if we don't have to, but we might be able to stick our head out the bedroom door or something and at least pie that corner off and say, hey, how you doing? You know, somebody's standing right there, we could say, go ahead and get on your knees, Holmes, and if you move even a muscle, we're gonna do work. And there is smart ways to do it. Number one thing, no matter what home defense tool you decide to use, it has to have a source of illumination on it, okay? We want to be turning on light switches. We want to see what we're about to shoot. That is 100% first things first. A home defense gun must have a light on it, okay? Plans, communication, fortification of your home, kids knowing the plans, kids knowing the communication, tools, right? Storage of the tools, all those things. We have to understand this stuff. It's not just as simple as going, grabbing a gun at the gun store and throwing it on the nightstand. We need storage of the tools with kids or different things. We need training on how to use the tools. And then what good is a tool that you're not confident in using? So understanding all these little differences and facets that go into home defense with a weapon. The whole thing, you have to do your due diligence. Most people say that they would do anything to protect their kids. Then people go grab a gun and stick it on a nightstand. Well, training is expensive. I'm not spending a couple $100 to go out there and learn this stuff on the weekend. I know what I'm doing. I'll shoot the bastard. Just get some training, get learned up a little bit, and don't just say, I'd do anything to protect my family. Actually go freaking do it.